Welcome back to another episode of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your HUT lineup decisions. Kind of want to give you guys an update on the channel as well. I'm about to enter the worst travel period of my life on Thursday. This is coming out on Tuesday. On Thursday, I fly to Denmark for the European Championships. I'm there Thursday till Monday, I think. And then on Friday, I fly back to New York for the North American Championships of the NHL 24 Finals. Come back home on Monday. And then Friday, that following week, I have to go to DC for the Caps Gaming Showcase, as well as some stuff for the Washington Wizards. And then finally, the finals the following week, again, from Friday or Thursday until Monday. And then I am done. But obviously, all of that traveling means I'm not going to be being able to upload as many videos and streaming as much, so I do apologize for that. It also comes at the worst time, because the other thing I want to update you guys on is MLB. I've talked about it a ton. It comes out early access on March 15th, which is just absolutely brutal timing for me. But hey, I can't wait for a lot of you to try MLB for the first time. When it comes to my channel, I will be doing NHL videos the entire year. Everyone that says, oh, you're not going to upload NHL anymore once MLB comes out, it's my job, it's my business. I have to upload NHL, but I will also be doing MLB. Think of it more like a 60-40 split, maybe a 70-30 split MLB to NHL as we wind down. These videos, the Who Should You Choose videos, they will go all the way until Team of the Season. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I figure a lot of people will still be asking questions about that. Once Team of the Season hits, it's just, it is theme team territory, or Toronto Maple Leaf territory, if you know what I'm saying. All right, here we go, boys. Let's get into it. You're the GOAT. Thank you, man. Hey, yo. This is from about 9 days ago as well, so these might be dated. I'll try and keep them as relevant as possible. EA has completely ruined HUT for the rest of the year with this event structure. Ryan Smith. Oh, so we haven't even talked about. Oh man, we haven't talked about the trade deadline event. Ryan Smith, my favorite player of all time, and not having a guaranteed way to build him is a joke. I'm just going to upgrade his icon card for way cheaper and can get to 99 in 5 months, but can't see myself touching this game after MLB 24 releases in 2 weeks. The MLB event, I've stated this in almost every video. It's kind of beating a dead horse right now. The trade deadline event is awful. They tried something new, and it whiffed really hard. My biggest issue with the content team this year is that they have tried to take these swings. It is a new team of people, so I can totally respect them trying to put their own stamp on it and trying to make things new and fresh. Unfortunately, there is not tech in the game that allows them to deliver us content in an interesting way. It has been the same for 7 years. There is nothing that they can do about that until the mode team figures out a new way, a new event structure, new content structure, and allows the tech to actually be in the game. So the content team can't really do anything. That being said, if something isn't broken, don't fix it. So, like last year, we probably had the best content that we've had. Just like, would it be kind of boring to just copy that in the formats and things like that? Yeah, a little bit, but it would be better than whatever this mess was. Maze Jolt says the AO ball is good. As the others have said, I live for the rants. Yeah, I love a good rant. So question, is it me or is it easy to make the ultimate icons this year as well as the team builders? It seems like everyone I play against have Mario and Gretzky, and even Howe. It has destroyed their value a bit, since you can make them for roughly 1 million and then buy them now for 500 and 750K. I assume they are going for this. I haven't checked the market. Yeah, it's about that still. It was better in 22. You had to almost pack them to get them. It's the same thing with team builders. It's easy to make, but I'm grinding and I've spent money on the game, so it might just be a biased take. As you are no money spent, what are your thoughts? Love the content as always. Love the pod as well. Keep the great work. Thank you, Maze. Also, Maze Jolt is the guy who is uploading all of the cards to HUT Hub, so check out, if you haven't checked it out, download the League Gaming app and use HUT Hub inside of it to access all the cards immediately. Maze Jolt does a great job. So when it comes to Mario, Gretzky, and Howe, last year was awful because as someone who spent money on the game and did a no money spent team, like I had 2 accounts, it was very hard because you basically had to get lucky to actually get them. I don't think it should be like that. What they did this year, I think, was the correct way to do it. I think that we just become smarter. So as the year went along, they were going for about 1 million coins. Like early on, it was because it was actually propping up the non-NHL gold players. If you remember early on, non-NHL gold players were going for like 1,000, 1,200 coins. You could actually make money buying base packs. Like, it was crazy. And then obviously as you go along, more people get it, so they're not spending all of those cards. There should be a way to grind for them. I think that how it should work, I would love for them to try it one more year. And this isn't an MLB comparison. This is NHL 18, I believe. 18 was my first year dabbling in HUT. 19 was the first year I actually made HUT content, so bear with me. But I believe 18 was the year where you had to collect every single player on each team. And then you would get that card's like that team's like builder or whatever, right? And then you needed all of them to make a Ginla, the 99 Ginla, and the 99 Yager, and or whatever they would be. So like 89s, whatever. The issue is obviously is that you'd end up with like Chris Neal being like who's like a 78 overall card for the Ottawa Senators. He was like 800,000 coins or whatever, something outrageous because people would just price lock them. So either there's got to be an easier way to get more packs, so that you could just have more cards in the in circulation. But collection, Hockey Ultimate Team should be about collection. It really should. There should be that. I think that's like the foundation of the game that I think is missing in Ultimate Team mode games. Is that in EA Ultimate Team games, the cards aren't the most important thing. They're an economy. So you pull an 87, doesn't matter who it is. You're like, oh, an 87. You ignore the card art, right? That's an issue. You should be jacked up for the card specifically. A-Slaves, for NHL 25, I think EA needs to abandon the power by icon system. I can never understand their choices for these cards. For example, J.S. Aguirre has a card, but Patrick Waugh and Terry Shawchuk don't. Teppo Newman has a card, but McKinnis and Pronger don't. I understand that this year they went for theming with different types of power-up icons, and the choices still don't make sense. Instead of this, I think EA should release a set of cards at the beginning of the year to honor the top 100 players of all time set by the NHL in 2017. These cards would range in overall, similar to the power-up icons. Assuming McDavid is an 86 again next year, Gretzky, Lemieux, and Orr would start at an 87. Then they would go down, as Howe is an 86, along with Richard and others, and so on. Then once the first non-fantasy card that is an 87 comes out, everyone moves up +1 overall. This way, Gretzky is always the best card in the game, like he should be. These upgrades should also be free. So these cards would be expensive to get, but would free to upgrade. After Gretzky reaches 99, the rest of them can be upgraded with power-up collectibles to 99. This makes Gretzky the most valuable as well. This also avoids the fact that EA keeps forgetting what some of the greatest players of all time. For example, NHL 22 was released. Charlie Conacher was an 80 of the whole year. Then in 23, he was given a 92 in January. This year, he has remained at 80 despite being a top 100 player of all time. He is one of the many players that are stuck at their base icon rating, while players like Ryan Smith get 99s at the end of the year through the power-up icon system. While Smith is a great player, I don't think anyone is arguing he's a top 100 player of all time. I think the switch... So, I like this. They need to figure out a way to how they handle icons. This is something that MLB does great. The legends they put into the game are always one of the most hyped things. And all of the legends are just in the game. And what they do is they will release era cards. So, for example, Kevin Youkilis, if you're a Boston Red Sox fan, his first card that's coming out is his breakout card. So, breakouts are a section of cards. All icons can get them, but not all of them get them. But the ratings will reflect the breakout year of that player. So Youkilis's breakout was 2008, and his card reflects the attributes from that 2008 season. That builds is another big thing that needs to happen in HUT. It's in EASHL. I don't understand why it's not in HUT, but this would allow cards to go to 99 and not have 99s across the board, which is a major problem in this game, and they need to figure it out. Icons this year have been super boring. Like, if you think about it, I think last year we had like 68 icons that were like master power-up icons or whatever. You could upgrade them. This year we got like 36. You're right. There's a lot of frustrating things about this game in terms of content, and I don't know what the fix is, and I don't have any faith that it will be fixed next year. I just made Adrian a coin. He is on my third line righty on defense. Should I keep him or trade him and Modano in and get Larry Robinson? Made the mistake of Sammy and Nash first. I would make Larry Robinson. Ace Slaves was wondering about the 93 team builders, specifically Arnott and Nash. When they first came out, you said Nash wasn't worth the cost over that Modano could already do, so I planned on making Arnott when I was able to. However, I've seen nothing but rave reviews on Nash, and now I have the Elites. Matthews my 1C. Is Nash still not worth the cost, or should I make him now that I don't have as much need for Arnott as I had before? So I don't think... Okay, so yeah, I definitely misspoke, or my intentions didn't come across the way I wanted them to. It's not that Nash isn't a great card. It's that when you're doing it in order, it takes a long time to make these 93s from scratch. I just tried to do it with Salo, and I'm still not there, right? So Arnott was the most important because at the time there was no centerman, and he was one of the better centermen in the game, right? So he was definitely the number one to make. I still think Larry Robinson is the next and probably even number one now, just because of how many centermen they've released. But Nash is definitely one of the best cards in the game. It's just in terms of order of importance when you're making him, I would 100% make Nash. I started making team builders 2 weeks ago, got the 93 Nash. Wow, dude, 2 weeks and this guy gets it. And now I need to restart and stop playing rivals because it's so annoying. I just play Hut Champs, so should I just keep going with team builders or open better packs? Ooh. Okay, if you've only made one, if you only made Nash, you definitely need to make another one because 293s will get you 196. That being said, if you're only playing champs, it depends on how many wins you get, but let's say you can get like 12 wins. That's like, what, 8 or 9 collectibles? You could definitely do the Mega Players Pack and then do the training camp trade-ins to get all the non-NHL players that you get. You put those into the training camp sets, and then you can make NHL players for team builders. Hey, Slaves, love the content as always. I have a lineup question here. My entire forward core is 93 plus, and I'm struggling to find the right line combinations for my team. As a reference, I hover between 11 to 14 wins in champs, and I'm a diehard Habs fan. Here are the cards that make up my forward core: Suzuki, McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, Kucherov, Rantanen, Caulfield, Barzal, Eichel, and team builder Arnott and Nash. Okay, well, you should use your favorite players. But I would probably go McKinnon, Suzuki, McDavid as your top pair. Elites Matthews is the second line center. I would go Kucherov as your winger. Barzal on the other side. Then Arnott as your third line center. Nash on your second line. Nash on your second line over Kucherov. And then you could go Kucherov and Rantanen or flip those. Yeah, that's how I would do that. Too many defensemen. Who should I choose? X Factor Doughty, 99 fantasy. Bouchard, 96. Team of the Year, Makar, 94. Elite, 94. Hamilton. Redden, Hughes, McCabe, and Heiskanen. This defense situation escalated quickly. It did, actually, because there was a lot of options. Well, Doughty's number one. I don't think Bouchard is even fast yet. Like, Bouchard is awful. They just nerfed his skating into the ground. I haven't looked in a little bit, but I'm pretty sure his skating is still abysmal. So I would go Dougie Hamilton and then Makar until Bouchard hits 99. In terms of your left-handed defenseman, I would go Redden, Heiskanen, and McCabe. Hughes would sit for me. First game back in 3 years, and this game was good at the start, and now it's broken so bad, it is in a pretty rough spot. Why do you think they don't do a 2-year cycle of NHL games? NHL 24, then 26, and 28, so that they can get more time to build games for people. I think PGA does a system like that. Money, my man. Imagine going to the guys that own the yachts for EA, and they say, hey, you know what? This game makes us, I don't know, what's 70? Let's say, let's just do, this game's what, $100 at launch times, let's say 200,000 copies. That's $20 million, like, you're never going, so that's why when everyone says make it a 2-year cycle, yes, for the consumer, that's great. Why that will never happen is because sports games are the yearly, cheat code, because the hype, no matter what, at the start of the new season, the video game comes out, everyone wants to buy it, even if it's going to be garbage or not. It's 23 was proof of that, right? It's unfortunate, but that's just not just NHL, that's every sports game or Call of Duty, right? You'll never take a year off because it's just printing money every year. They'll never do that. And as a business, they shouldn't. But as a consumer, I pray they would. Also, the other argument to that is if they do it every 2 years, then nothing really changes, because while that first game that comes out would be so good, you would then expect this gigantic jump every release of the game. Do you have any faith that if you gave them an extra year, that they would have 2 years worth of content in the game? No, there wouldn't. Hey, Sis, I've been watching you for 4 years now. Love the shows and info you give. The podcast is great as well. I'm 50 years young, and people complaining about graphics and gameplay need to go play Nintendo Hockey or Blades of Steel. Anyways, I'm about 900,000 pucks and always take untradeable. I'm no money spent. I've got an okay Div 2 team, but EA needs to change up the rinse and repeat cycle. This new event is awful. Is Elite Cooch worth going and making? Keep it the good work. I think there's so many good left-handed wingers that I don't think Kucherov is a must-make. No. Honestly, you can wait for the next event and then Team of the Season. Unless Team of the Season is this Friday. I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me because I'm traveling, so it just kind of makes sense. It's what always happens to me. But good on you, grinding out the game, my man. I'd love to hear that. Alrighty, Sleeves. Are you going to make videos and get MLB The Show 24? What are your thoughts on the game? I've never played the MLB Ultimate Team mode before. Do you think I should get it? What version of the game would you recommend? Also, should I start preparing for Team of the Season or put cards into Power Up Collectibles? Also pulled 95 Team of the Kachuk, but I have his Team of the Year. What should I do with it? So at some point, they've got to give us a 90-plus trade-in. Part of me thinks they've just forgotten and they haven't put it in. It's a joke. I don't know. So any cards that are 89 and above, wait, because they've got to give us another trade-in. So don't do anything with that 95 Kachuk unless it is tradable. Sell it. In terms of preparing for Team of the Season or putting Power Up Collectibles, at this point, unless you pull Suzuki or Doughty, don't put Power Up Collectibles in anything. Unless it's like your favorite cards or ultimate icons. Just hold your collection for Team of the Season. I don't like doing that, but we've got to be pretty close to it. For reference, Team of the Season is usually like 3 or 4 weeks long, right? Just by doing simple math here, they're going to do the playoff event at some point. So the playoffs don't start until the 18th. And you've got to think that like that works by they do the 2 weeks before or however long before, and then they release a bunch of playoff cards, and if they get in, they go up by a certain amount and everything like that. Usually they do that early. But if Team of the Season is, let's say, this Friday, right, and it goes 3 weeks to March or April 5th, right, and then you've got 2 weeks after that is playoffs, unless they do it flip-flop it, unless they do the playoff event early because they want you to go after these cards. I actually like the playoff race cards. They're pretty fun. So I don't know. I would assume it's the playoff event and then Team of the Year. I don't know, though. So I would just hold. In terms of MLB The Show, I will be making videos on MLB The Show. For anyone that is even slightly interested, if you are an Xbox user, it is on Game Pass. You can literally get the brand new game for free with Game Pass. So please, I beg everyone to try it. It'll be a little frustrating in the beginning because timing and all of that, but I will have videos that will walk you through for beginners. Honestly, a lot of my videos for MLB are going to cater around with the NHL audience in mind, not because I want to like, be like, you got to abandon NHL, play MLB. That's silly, but the NHL video game is starting to wear down outside of the hardcore players. MLB is an incredibly good, well put together game from the content side as well as the gameplay. And I will have videos that will walk you through if you go and look at my most viewed videos on my channel, they're MLB videos. So like, I will walk you through everything you need to know, much like I do for NHL. But if you are on Xbox, just go get it for Game Pass. And if you are someone that has like just fun money, if you really want to give it a go, you can pay $40 and upgrade the free Xbox Game Pass version and get all the big stuff that you have to pay $120 for on PlayStation or whatever. So just keep that in mind. But that is going to do it for this episode of Who Should You Choose? Again, thank you guys for watching all year round and all of the subs. I'm almost at 60,000. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.